if you lose that kitty, and anyways, I'm DG Stone. Welcome back to my channel. This is a Wednesday Reads book review, and my cat is driving me a little bit crazy. Really? I read a book called The Charm Runner by Jamie Davis. This book was a fantasy story that was set in modern times, but sort of alternate world, where people called chanters use magic, and these chanters then sort of charm items that you need, like a mixer that mixes things to the perfect amount, or a ledger that keeps your books, or whatnot. And so they sell these charms in shops, and they're not allowed to get into the sable trade, which is charms that directly affect people. And what happens is that this chanting magic, it becomes illegal to use magic at all. And so the main character, Winnie, becomes a charm runner. She has a shop that she uses for her charms, and she needs to find an income after the Resolution 84 passes. And so what she does is she becomes a black market charm runner. And there's all sorts of intrigue. There's dealing with the constables. They call them red legs. They're kind of like Pinkertons, except official. And it's fascinating. It's kind of like Prohibition, where you had the whiskey runners and the bootleg alcohol and that sort of a thing, but it's modern and it's fascinating. Anyways, this book was really very interesting. I liked the fact that there were a lot of things going on, but it felt sort of still kind of lighthearted. It felt a little bit like there were different eras of history being mixed in. Some of this was sort of 1930s ghetto ideas in Europe, but it was also very much the 20s, but it was set in modern times, and I think I'd like this book quite a lot. The writing was interesting. It kept you involved without making things too dark, because those were some very dark periods in time. There was intrigue with the characters. You had people on the temperance side, you had people on the sort of magical side, and then there were questions about the chanters themselves. Where does this power come from? What happens when you use this power against people? And it was all very interesting. So this book, I think, is kind of, it felt more like a young adult, new adult book. I think in the style that it was written, it was more lighthearted. It didn't go quite so dark, but it was definitely I guess I would classify this more as new adult fantasy, urban fantasy, without some of the super dark things. And it was more of a light fantasy. The only magic that was really involved was the chanters and the charms that they used for daily life and keeping the cities up and running. But there were some questions about them and where their magic came from, and whether or not it was safe to use or not safe to use. And also the ending. I really liked the ending. It brought in things that I am very fond of, and I can't tell you any more without giving away serious spoilers for this book. But let me tell you, the ending has one of my most favorite stories involved, and I liked that a lot. It's great fun. There are so many things that you could do with this, and I'm excited to see what comes next. So if you're interested in a sort of light fantasy, and by light I don't mean light as in light fantasy, I mean light as in sort of less dark. Yeah, that made sense in my head. If you're interested in a fantasy novel about magic that is now illegal, and a charm runner who is very fun to read, do go check this book out. This this whole series is going to really be released over the next couple of months. So every 3 weeks there's going to be a new book coming out, and you can then read the whole series. I think it'll be completely out by October, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I don't remember how many books are in the series, but definitely go check it out. It's on Kindle Unlimited. And also, the other series that Jamie Davis has, his Extreme Medical Services, I started listening to the audiobooks, and I'm very excited because I have now discovered that audiobooks are wonderful, and his narrator now narrates my life. That's a thing. Anyways, so if you're interested in this, go check it out. If you're interested in the Extreme Medical Services, which is an entirely different fantasy story that I like quite a lot, go check that out. All of the links are in the description box below. Jamie Davis also does a fantasy podcast. I interviewed him not too long ago, and you can check out all of that stuff in the links in the description box below. So otherwise, I don't know a whole lot except it's raining. I have tea, and my cat is a little bit insane. Definitely go check out The Charm Runner, go check out his other work, and that's all I've got for you today. So I will see you next time. Bye.